So there's this place, Omelas. Imagine a city that feels like a dream. Not the cold, shiny kind with flying cars. Nah, more like something out of a painting. Golden sunlight, red rooftops, music floating in the air like petals on the wind. It's summer, the best kind of summer, and the whole city is buzzing for a festival. Bells are ringing, kids are darting through crowds, old folks walk in robes like something out of a fairy tale, and the horses? Oh, they're running free in a wide green meadow, manes braided with silver and gold. No saddles, no bits, just raw beauty and pride. These horses know it's a party, and they're showing off like rock stars. Everywhere, people are dancing in the streets, singing, laughing, their joy so real it could wrap around your chest and make you breathe deeper. It's not fake, it's not forced. These people, they're genuinely happy. But here's the thing, that's the twist. They're smart too. They don't have kings or armies or stock markets or ads yelling at them to buy stuff they don't need. No secret police, no bombs, no one's forcing this happiness. They just live like this. And yeah, I know what you're thinking, that's impossible. But that's the whole point. The world told us that happiness has to be stupid, that real stories are about pain and evil and drama. But Omelas, it laughs at that idea. This place says, what if joy is just as deep, just as complicated, just as real? And that's the mystery, that's why I'm telling you this story, because behind all that beauty something's coming. Something you're not expecting. But let's stay in the sunlight a little longer before we open the dark door. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, that place can't be real. Too clean, too happy, too goody-goody. And you'd be right to raise an eyebrow. That's the trick of Omelas. It sounds like a fairy tale, like a place made of music and mist. All right, fine. Make it your own. Don't like the lack of tech? Go ahead. Add some. Not cars or buzzing helicopters. No, those would be too loud for this kind of joy. But sure, give them smooth, fast trains, beautiful ones that hum like bees and glide in from coastal towns. Give them washing machines, floating lights, central heating, even cures for the common cold. Or don't. Doesn't matter. Omelas isn't about what they have, it's about how they live. What they don't have, though, guilt. And that's rare, isn't it? A city without that little weight pressing on your chest. And no soldiers either. No war. Omelas doesn't cheer for death. Their victories aren't bloody, they're soulful. The kind of triumph you feel deep in your bones when life is good and you don't need someone else to lose for you to win. There is a drug, if you want one. Druze. Sounds like something from a dream. Makes your mind light up, your body glow, and your soul catch fire with beauty and visions. But it's not addictive. Some folks like it, some don't. Some just prefer a cold beer and a warm laugh. That's the thing. Choice. And now, the festival is in full swing. The meadows are filled with scents of roasting food, kids are running around with sticky faces, old men have crumbs in their beards, flowers are getting tucked behind ears, the horses are restless, lined up for the race. And then there's a boy, a quiet one, sitting at the edge, playing a wooden flute like he's casting a spell. People stop. They listen, but no one talks to him. He's somewhere else, lost in the music. And for just a moment the whole city seems to hold its breath, because even in Omelas, with all its joy and warmth, there's something just under the surface. And that's where we're headed next. Just when you've let yourself believe in Omelas, really believe, the music swells, the horses paw the ground, the trumpet cries out like something ancient and lonely. The summer festival begins with glory in the air. Are you with me so far? Because if you are, there's one more thing you need to know. See, beneath one of those pretty buildings, or maybe under someone's lovely flower-draped home, there's a room. A tiny room. No windows, just a locked door. Dirt floor, damp walls, and in the corner, a child. Not a metaphor, not a symbol. A real, living, breathing child. Maybe 6 in appearance, but really closer to 10. It doesn't speak much anymore. It used to scream, cry for its mother, promise to be good if they'd only let it out. But now it just whines. Soft, broken noises. The child is sick, starving, covered in sores, naked, filthy, terrified of the mops leaning in the corner. It sits in its own waste, eyes wide with a kind of stunned, hopeless fear. And here's the worst part. Everyone in Omelas knows this child is there. They all know. Some go to see it. They look. Just look. Some are horrified, sickened. Young people especially. They come when they're old enough to understand, and when they see, oh, how they cry, how they rage and ache. Some can barely stand to look at the child. Some never go back. But none of them speak to it. Not a kind word. That's part of the deal. Because here's the twist. The beauty of Omelas, the joy, the health, the music, the dancing, the gardens and sunlight and smiles, it depends on that child staying in that room. Not metaphorically, literally. If the child is rescued, even comforted, everything in Omelas crumbles. That's the bargain. One life for the happiness of thousands. Misery isolated and unseen, so that all else may thrive, and the people, they accept it. Not because they're evil, not even because they like it, but because that's the price, and they've learned to live with it. Most of them, anyway. Here's the final truth. After all the music, the light, the cruelty, and the compromise, some people just can't stay. At first, they cry, rage, fume. They go over it again and again in their heads. Why does it have to be this way? But slowly, many of them come to believe in the system. They convince themselves that the child wouldn't even know how to be happy anymore, that freedom would be more terrifying than the cell, that the good of the many outweighs the suffering of the one. They dry their tears, and in doing so, they become part of the beauty of Omelas, the splendor built not on ignorance, but on conscious, painful acceptance. They know compassion. They feel it. They don't live easy, hollow lives. They live with a weight and the grace of knowing they carry it, but not all of them. Some can't make peace. Not even after the explanations, not even after the rationalizations. They see the child, and something inside them stays broken. It doesn't heal, it refuses. And so one day, without a word, they leave. A girl, a boy, an old man, a young mother, someone who has seen the child and cannot stay. They walk, through the streets, through the city gates, into the countryside, alone. No one stops them, no one follows. They walk into the unknown, the fields, the mountains, the dark. They never come back. They reject the deal, and somehow in doing so they become a different kind of story entirely. They are the ones who walk away from Omelas. Would you walk away or stay?